Now, as you may or may not know, Danhang Embodied Lune, aka Danhang's 5-star form, was drip marketed back at the end of version 1.1, introduced into the game's story in 1.2, and made playable as a character officially in 1.3. But a lot of people have been wondering about and speculating, of course, about who will be the next character to get a 5-star form in Honkai Star Rail, and to answer that, there's of course going to be multiple characters to get a 5-star form, and let's just go over it, right? So the first character that I want to address who I think will get a 5-star form in this one is, on most people's radar, since it was mentioned, are vaguely tied to, would be Tingyun. Now, back in the version 1.2 Trailblaze mission, aka the climax for the Shenzhou local, when we went to the Skill Gorge Waterscape and the Alchemy Commission, when we were introduced to Embodied Lune and Danfeng, right? In that Trailblaze mission, we also saw Tingyun get her neck snapped. That was 13 months ago, my guy. And ever since, there has been zero mention of Tingyun, nothing about her has been shown ever since then. And you can't help but speculate why, And I think that we might actually end up seeing Tingyun sooner than we might think. Now, the special program for version 2.5 is coming this Friday, so August 30th. That is 3 days away from the time that I'm recording this video. And I think that 2.5 for Honkai Star Rail might be when we see Tingyun's 5-star form, or at the very least when we could be seeing her come back to the game story. Now, the reason why is because 2.5, as we know, is going to be the conclusion for the Shenzhou War Dance arc, right? It's going to be a Shenzhou themed patch, as was 2.4, and I don't think that we're going to be getting any other Shenzhou related updates for the remainder of 2024. Now, I could be wrong on that, but 2.6, as we found out earlier this morning with Rappa the rapper, right? As we found out with her in the drip marketing earlier this morning, 2.6 for Honkai Star Rail is going to be Penacony related, and 2.7 is speculated to be a Yurilo 6 themed update, so that might mean no more Shenzhou patches for the rest of this year. Thank God, bro. We need some diversity in this game. But Tingyun here could very well get a 5-star form because back in the version 2.1 special program for Honkai Star Rail, however, straight up said that they're going to be reintroducing Tingyun to the story within this year, 2024. And they also mentioned two other things which have already come true. One of which was a simulated universe revamp, which as we know now is Divergent Universe, and the other one was March 7th Part 2, March 7th The Hunt, which we also got. Now, the last thing that we need is Tingyun coming back to the story, and if Tingyun's resurgence in the game story is just as important to Hoyoverse as something as big as Divergent Universe or March 7th's character class change, then I think that Tingyun just coming back to the story the way she is now would definitely, it would be underwhelming for sure. 100% would be entirely underwhelming, and of course the only normal conclusion that one could come to would be maybe a 5-star variant of Tingyun, which very much possible, and I think that that is going to be the case. So I do think that Tingyun will be the next playable character as of right now to get a 5-star form, but I think that there might be more to come. Let me get a little bit speculative here. So March 7th could very well get a 5-star form herself. You might be thinking, why could that happen? Why would they do that when she can already switch paths? And the answer to that, of course, would be because of Eileen. Now, I've talked about this Eileen character far too many times on this channel. I have an entire video dedicated to her, which you can always go ahead and check out, but it's rumored, or maybe not rumored, but it's hinted at that Eileen might be a 5-star variant of March 7th. Because she definitely 100% has some ties to her, right? Same exact looks, same voice actress. People claim that she might be a scrapped character, but I really don't see that being the case, as Hoyoverse essentially never reveals anything publicly that just ends up being scrapped, especially not something as big as that concept trailer, which was shown on the same day that Honkai Star Rail was announced. So I don't think that this Eileen character was scrapped at all. I think she might in fact be a 5-star variant of March 7th. March 7th as a memo keeper before she lost her memories, but that's going to be a topic, an interesting theory saved for another video. Now I have one more character on this list that almost nobody would actually have been able to guess, and that would be Herta. I think someday the Herta space station might play a bigger role in the game's story than as it is right now, because we just fought the dragon dude and we just left, really. It was like a tutorial mission. In fact, the Herta space station, for a lack of better term, is so irrelevant to the community that some people don't even consider it as a proper world. Most people, or maybe not most people, but a lot of people consider Yurilo 6 as World 1, the Shenzhou Lofu is World 2, Penacony is World 3, and you get the idea. But I think the Herta space station could play a bigger role. Of course, we've had updates for Simulated Universe, 1.1, 1.6. We could always come back to the Herta space station at some point in time in the game's story. Just because the main arc for it is over doesn't mean that we can't go back to it and have another proper arc for it, like a second arc, as we've seen with the Shenzhou Lofu. We had the one main arc with the Stellaron, and now we have a second arc for the Shenzhou Lofu, even after we already moved on from the Shenzhou and even Penacony as well. Now, Herta could get a 5-star form because, well, the 4-star version that we have of her right now is just her puppet. It's not even her actual form herself. The real Herta isn't even in the Herta space station. That's why she has all of her puppets, all like scattered around the space station. Now, could we get maybe the region where the real Herta is at? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. I don't see it happening, but I think maybe someday we could get a Trailblaze continuance mission where we go back to the Herta space station and then we meet the real Herta, Herta in the flesh, tall, dummy mommy, not this little kid looking puppet, right? I'm talking an actual, good looking character, right? You get what I mean? And then she looks older, she's taller, and she's playable as a 5-star, of course, different element, different path. Maybe she could be imaginary nihility. Something like that would very much make sense, because when you think about it, Herta's puppet isn't just some random design that Herta came up with. It is literally what Herta herself looked like as a child. So if we were able to see someday what Herta looks like as a fully grown adult woman, then I think that would make complete sense in the game story, especially if we go back to the Herta space station, which we probably will sometime in the future, whether it's in the near future, distant future. Maybe it can be in version 2.8, maybe it can be in version 5.0. Who knows, man? Really, nobody knows. But I think, of course, it's speculation, but I think that March 7th and Herta will also get 5-star forms. But that's gonna be it for this video, right? There's no other nameless characters who can get 5-star forms, because the other 3 of the nameless are already 5 stars, right? Himiko, Well, and Trailblazer, unless they introduce a new Trailblazer, or not new Trailblazer, but a new nameless member, someone new who joins the crew within the story. I'm very much invested in the lore of Honkai Star Rail, and I'm looking forward to what they're going to be putting out next in both the near future and the distant future. But that's going to be a wrap from me. I've made plenty of other videos like this, but I've been rambling for far too long. I'm gonna end this one off here. Goodbye.